You're live. We're live.
Okay, or I'm going to come in the picture later.
We're live right now, Val.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Say hi.
Can I get a little closer?
Yeah, you can cuddle with me, Val. How you doing, man?
Good, good.
So we spent the whole morning talking about all kinds of top secret projects that I'm not allowed to disclose under penalty of torture and death. But I am here, sitting here with Val. I wanted to find, I actually picked up a Steyr SSG-08A1 when we were at the Steyr Academy just the other day, right? Is that when that was? And I am looking for the perfect optic for that deal. We're coming through Dallas area on our way to the Combat Command Fire class this weekend. By the way, looking forward to having you guys there. You're gonna learn some really fun stuff, even more fun than you had even thought possible. But we'll see very soon. At any rate, I'm looking to get the right scope on this rifle. It's a SSG-08A1, and it's in a 308 caliber, right?
Beautiful rifle.
So I'm looking for like the, now to match that rifle, that's a beast of a rifle. That sucker's built like a tank. And it has obvious, I mean, that's kind of like the standard issue sniper rifle in a huge part of the world. So you need a suitable optic that's heavy duty enough, that's battle proven enough, with the right feature set and the right ruggedness for it to work properly for that application. So I have a couple different options that kind of like tossed up. I'm not sure which one I like more. There's different, you know, attributes and priorities that you got to balance out and get in the right spot. Right, Val?
Absolutely.
So Val's here to answer any questions we might have. And then if you guys have a question after a little while, you can go live. But you guys are going to help me choose. We're going to maybe even take a vote after a minute here on which one I'm going to pick up for Val today to marry permanently, hopefully, to that Steyr. Okay? You game for this deal? So we're looking at two different optics, Val. Let's start off with kind of the goofy one. The goofy, crazy one with the coolest name, the Spider. Did you know that back when I used to play bass guitar, Val? Here's a story for you guys. Check this out. Oh, wait, I gotta pull out this. Hey, he's got new boxes.
You tell the story.
You got new boxes, man.
They're beautiful. Look, this is the part I like the best right here.
Can I smash it or not really?
Right there.
Which part?
Right there, that face.
Oh, right here?
Like that.
Oh, this. Yeah. Val is a man. Hey, by the way, for anyone who thinks that this deal isn't that cool, let's get you hooked up with Val for about, how much time do you need with them? Half hour? Val grew up in a place that wasn't like this place right here. Do you guys see this in the video? You see what that is? Val grew up in communism. And so when he came to the United States, he became an incredibly hardworking American patriot and kicked ass in real life in everything he's ever done. And so he's a true brother.
Boy. Yeah, here we
when
go.
Val picked me up from the airport, the first time I ever met him, after I came down to actually look at his whole lineup, he has a little stamp on his speedometer on it. What is it, Honda you're driving or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a Ronald Reagan stamp because that's the president that allowed him, what was it, asylum?
Yeah.
Because you defected.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't like to tell that story, all the details too much. But Val has sacrificed a lot to come here. So he's a cool guy. He's always been a friend of mine. But he is been dealing with optics for quite a long time. And when we're talking optics, some of you guys may be familiar with these guys. You know, on my channel, I talk about them a lot. There's actually a reason for that. My preferences have always been for, I don't look through the scope and see how clear it is. I'm not worried about how nice the clicks feel, although I'm saying these are pretty good. You'll find out in a minute. We'll talk about it. But I'm looking for absolute ruggedness. Did you see how I almost destroyed that other scope you had in here earlier?
Yeah, the three.
I was cave manning the turret cap on there. Yep. I was like, what did you call me? Lumberjack? Like, what are you, man, a lumberjack? You're gonna freaking break the scope right away? And I'm like, Val, I'm a field testing guy, even when I'm drinking coffee in the hotel breakfast area. Whatever this is. Man. We had a late breakfast. I had a banana at noon.
Yeah.
Does that count?
It's a very, very nutritional.
So how you guys doing? Hope you're all doing great out there. What's the Spider? Here, let me look at this thing.
Please.
So we got the Spider. Yep. 35 millimeter main tube.
35.
That gives us a decent amount of internal adjustment.
About 24, 25 mils up and down.
24 to 25 mils up and down. Okay.
Yep. Yes,
Now
sir.
this is the IOR Instrument Optics in Romania. This is made in Romania in Bucharest.
Yep.
Right. This has the big actual IOR turrets. It has the secondary zero indicator, which I was educated by my friend behind the camera here, Mr. Seth, on a very useful application. Let's say you're setting up and you're all zeroed in for TRP number 1 out in the field. Those of you guys who have taken my classes know what I'm talking about. You set up a kill box, ready to take it. The deer is going to pop in an area, so you're all indexed, you're ready to shoot that deer. But there's another spot he might run over that hill, right? So to dial back and forth, see this deal right here, guys? Let's say my firing solution right now is 5.3 mils. But the deer is going to run out at a different spot, and he's going to have to be indexed at 7.1 mils. So in a panic, I just turn this goofy little critter here till I'm on 7 point whatever I just said. Okay?
7.1.
So I'm like waiting for the animate target, the soft target, to come out of there, and all of a sudden that sucker pops out over here in my other area I was worried about. I just go, oh dear God, there it is right there. Get it? Dear God?
Yes, sir.
Dear? Okay, so then I went from this to this, boom, dead.
So you basically can set 2 zeros on the knob.
You can, 2 zeros on the knob. Or if you run the suppressor
Yep.
and you run the reticle, you can just say, okay, I took off the suppressor, and you can lock this thing down with the
Yes,
little
sir.
screw right here.
Sure, yeah, you can.
There's a tiny little screw on here. You can lock this little guy down, whatever. Blah, 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 woof, woof, woof. But these turrets are built like a tank. For those of you who want to watch the full comprehensive review on this style of turret mechanism, you can watch the Recon review that I did a couple of years ago. It's the same basic mechanisms.
Yeah, it is.
They are robust. Now, if you're looking for something that's polished and beautiful and like super craftsmanship oriented kind of deal, then you want to go with the G2 line, which just came out.
Yes.
Which is actually a very nicely made Japanese optic. But you got to remember, the Japanese and the Eastern Europeans have different philosophies of manufacturing, right? Eastern European design is like, I could beat you to death with this scope.
But wait
And
a
then I
minute.
could go and build a fence and pound in nails with
But-
this. And then put it back on and still do it.
You have to admit that we made some progress as far as the cosmetics.
Yes.
I mean, they came a long
They're
way.
very nice optics, okay? But I'm just saying, for the there's a certain crowd of guys out there in the world, and all reality guys, who like, if the scope color, you can see how it's black matte, and if that black matte doesn't match their rings perfectly with the receiver, they're all bent out of shape.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
That's not maybe our crowd that we're talking to right now.
Yes.
We're talking about guys that use their weapons in the field. So I don't care about that kind of stuff at all. I don't care how nicely smooth it feels. Actually, hold on, let me check. Just to remember, here's the ocular. Oh, that's actually very nice. That actually, okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. All right, this is pretty stiff, but this is very smooth. But stiff is a good thing.
I mean,
And we got with 9 to 36 power. 9 to 36 power. Okay?
yep.
You got your windage, your elevation, and your illumination.
And
Is
it's
this loaded with the battery right now?
I don't think we put a battery in.
Some guys talk about bleed over. I never had a problem with that whole deal.
No, there is no.
And I'm just being 100% honest on the bleed over deal. Like, if you can see your aiming point, then you can kill the target.
Let's check the bleed over.
You want to put a battery in there for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's a first focal plane mil.
Okay. Oh, it's first focal plane mil configuration, which is obviously, by the way, guys, back in the day, and you guys have heard this story before, nobody made that configuration. I went to the big manufacturers, like, because I was looking for a first focal plane mil configuration, and outfits like Leupold, you guys can write me a letter if you don't like me about saying this, made fun of me because they said that was retarded.
Otis from Waxahachie's Long Range and Competitive Shooting said, "Greetings, Rex and Val."
How you doing, brother? Greetings to you from Tejas.
Howdy.
I always love coming down here.
Yep.
Zebulon said, Val, thank you for the IOR scope. I'm psyched.
What scope did he get?
I don't know. Zebulon, what scope you got?
Our cameraman's modulating the questions for us.
I think he maybe a G2.
Maybe a G2?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't remember.
Now you gotta
For
got
sure.
There's a lot of guys running the G2s now.
Well,
Shinobi said, cheers.
Hey, Shinobi, what's up, brother? So we got what's this reticle? What do you call this thing? The MP8?
that's a MP8 X1.
Okay.
And then keep in mind that the illumination in these long-range scopes,
Oh, it's illuminated.
yeah, it's rather
Zebulon said he picked up the 60-24-56 first focal plane mil. Great scope.
cool. Thank you.
Yeah,
Great
it's a good
scope,
convey. Oh, okay.
That's a,
So
that's
this
a
is
classic.
Yeah.
Okay, so
this is smart, guys. So what I'm seeing here is I got the reticle, and you have your milliradians going off in every direction. Actually going up. How many up do you got?
maybe 10.
Is that 12, 13? That's 12 mils up.
Is it 12?
Above
Yeah.
the center line.
Yeah. Okay.
So you could zero this at like way the hell out there and still have your stadiometric adjustments
If you
by
really have
holding
to.
high. Well, a lot of guys do that.
On a 308, I think with
Yeah,
a
but
combo.
it's nice to have stuff like that for other applications.
Sure, sure.
What if I wanted to mount this on a 300 blackout with Trom ammo and shoot it at a mile?
Well, you can
I might
do-
need a little bit more
yeah,
adjustment.
You can do that exactly what you
Yeah,
said, and then
I might be able to do some radical stuff then. Actually, they use your scopes. You know that?
Yeah.
Do you know who Trom is?
No.
Okay, well, they use your scopes because they have the most adjustment. But anyways, so the illumination is the center of the center aiming point dot. None of the other stuff is illuminated,
And it's
which is smart.
If I may mention also, the regular low light illumination is not.
It's
what-
not to
what
be
we-
bright, yeah.
Yeah, it's not what we use in a short compact CQB scope.
Right.
It's a precision long range scope. So
So,
And for my compadres who are familiar with Spinal Tap, you see this right here? The number 11. Most guitar amplifiers, the volume knob only goes up to 10,
okay,
but theirs go up to 11.
11.
You know what I'm saying?
so John gave a recommendation. He said, go ahead and slap a reticle in the Hubble and mount it on a rifle. I'm sure Rex can make it.
Well, I actually do work with spaceship people once in a while. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so where's the other scope? So this is a 9 to 36 by 44. By the way, the parallax, guys, is up front. This is a feature a lot of people don't like because they can't see it. Let me educate the ones who need to know how this deal works.
Please do.
You get a much finer adjustment if it's mounted here in terms of optical geometry and how this is adjusted. Plus, those numbers are approximations, and that's not how you check your parallax. Even if you had a side-mounted parallax and they had a number on there, that's not how you do it. You adjust it until you don't have any wiggle in your reticle on the target, and it's like a 2-second test. That's what we train in all our precision classes. That's what the professionals do. So a professional pays zero attention to the numbers. So you just reach up front and you can just turn it like this until you're perfectly in parallax. Okay? Does that make sense? And I like this feature. It makes it more streamlined. There's less stuff over here to worry about.
The big thing with a front focus
Yep.
is that focus is down to 21 feet. On 30,
Yeah, you
on
keep going down to
36
21 feet, which is actually nice in certain
Not
applications.
21 yards, 21 feet.
21 feet. That's like pistol range. So you could put this on your Smith & Wesson 686.
Yeah.
All right, so we just had quite a few viewers join.
Okay.
Could you give us a quick little introduction? Who are you talking to, Rex?
Oh, this is Val Latu, a good friend, Valdada Optics. He's the man. He's the man. And so after this video is complete, guys, we're going to leave this one up unless the forces that be erased it. We made one the other day that they did erase when we started talking about the Bible, believe it or not. We started quoting Psalm 144 and they cut the video off and erased it. That actually happened. So we'll save that for our preaching for tonight later, Val. Okay?
Okay.
All right. But at any rate, this is Val. You can go back and watch the beginning of the video when this is all over for the full context of the conversation. But we're trying to decide which rifle scope is going on my Steyr SSG-08A1. Okay? And so we're looking at the Spider right now, a 9 to 36 and a 44. Now some guys are saying, why not bigger? Well, first of all, what kind of glass is in here, Val?
It's the ED glass, low dispersion,
Made by
shot.
Shot. That's why you don't need, so like if you have crappy glass, you need the thing to be this big so that you can see what's going on.
Also, in addition to that reasoning, which is right on, for big rifles and bigger calibers, this 308. Like if you have a 375 or 408, you want to shoot 3,000, 2 miles, whatever. We have a 9 to 36 with a 40 millimeter tube and a 56 objective.
Oh, so you have different configurations.
Yeah, which
Yeah, you see, so go on the Valdada website.
Valdada.com.
Yep, don't say that. You didn't say anything.
Right.
Because all you sell is rifle scopes, right?
That's it.
Yeah. He sells telescopes, guys, but don't say your website's actual name on the video.
Oh.
There's new regulations.
Got it.
All right.
Sorry.
He didn't know. He didn't know. I didn't
I
tell
had
him.
no idea.
He didn't break any, but there are some. Okay.
Okay, sorry.
But no, that's cool. At any point, this is the one we're looking at as a potential option on a 9 power. Most, like, so back in the day, most of your 308 configured M24 sniper rifle system, the M40A1 employed by the U.S. Marine Corps, were straight 10 power scopes. So this starts off kind of where they left off. That's a good power. I would probably most of the time run it on straight 9 power, maybe 10 power. Let's go up to 10, right in there someplace, right? And that's going to get most of your work done from 0 to 1,000. If for some reason you needed a lot more radical power to identify a target, particularly, like if you have to read someone's name tag in a Red Dawn scenario, when like the bad, like, you know, Chinese and North Korean generals are paratrooping into your town, and you got to read if it's General Bob or whatever that you got to take out, you know, stuff like that. Or if you need to identify what you're shooting at, if you're hunting, or if you're trying to find, you know, animate targets that are hidden. They're not usually a giant, huge white piece of steel hanging from a chain on the side of a hill. Magnification is nice for spotting applications, okay? I don't usually shoot at that high magnification, but I do use it for target identification and spotting, so it's nice to have that range. But a 9 to 36. Also, if you're shooting on paper, man, or you're trying to spot your bullet holes,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's really nice. But the 44 millimeter main tube, this general profile of optic is actually, in terms of optical geometry, a very good design, because when you have a huge lens and it's more compact, it becomes more complex to make sure everything's, in terms of machining, exactly perfectly centered in here. So these are a very, very good scope that are very, very easy to get perfectly in what they call that sweet spot.
Yep.
Optically. Does that make sense? Watch my prior videos, come to the seminar to learn more about those kinds of top secret informations. Where's that other scope?
Well, also keep in mind, needless to say, for a 36 power, this is less than 14 inches. It's a very compact, very
14 inches?
It's less than 14.
So it appears to be long
Very
because
short.
it's proportionately
Very
skinny.
well quarter, to be exact.
Yeah,
So
it's not bad. And it's
usually the 36 powers are 16 inches long.
and plus for those guys that like to mount them real low.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them guys, but a lot of guys really like them low.
I will definitely mount in lower range.
You can mount them pretty darn low, right?
Yep.
Okay, now let's look at something different.
3.5 to 18 by 50.
That classic.
I know, you like that.
The man behind the camera,
He loves
our
that.
compadre Seth, has been running these for years. How long
Many,
have you had yours, bro?
About 2.5 years.
Yeah, but you got more than 2.5 years of experience on
Yeah.
that. Most guys don't actually use their stuff as much as maybe we do.
Yeah, that's probably got over 1,000 rounds on 6 different rifles.
Yeah. And we're not just talking round count, we're talking dragging it with the pickup on a rope, abuse type stuff. Jar heads.
Mine in particular.
Jar head use.
Mine in particular has passed a 25-foot fall test. Just FYI.
Has it?
Yeah. On a 270 Winchester.
So what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm adjusting the ocular and getting that reticle in focus. Man, this is nice. Do these have the same ocular? Same degree ocular?
I'm not sure if it's identical.
Well, I mean, look.
Probably not.
I like that
If you
one.
look at them,
This one is nice too. Is the eye relief pretty similar?
Yes, very close.
Yeah, and I like this one though too, man. I mean, this is a classic right here, guys. Now this one has a side parallax. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, your side parallax right there. See this big block? This is the old school, awesome Eastern European
The original.
construction. What are these buttons, Val?
Which one? Oh, that's illumination.
So that's your illumination
On,
control.
off, plus, minus, more
On, off.
bright, less
Yeah,
bright.
okay.
And then off for both, you push both. at
And
the
then you
same-
got 18 to 3.5, which is a very nice. This is probably a good configuration for a 308 caliber sniper rifle, right?
I would say perfect.
For the SSG-08A1 we got at the Steyr. This, okay, man, gosh darn it. I don't know, man. That's
So
pretty cool.
Pepper Jack 2011 said he's new to this precision thing and doesn't know much about all the terminology and stuff. What would you recommend for him, Rex?
New to precision rifle shooting? What's that?
Maybe come to a seminar?
Oh, I see what you're asking. There is so much involved with equipment selection, how to manage equipment properly, and how to master ballistics. A lot of guys just get a ballistic app or something and they don't know how to run that thing. They don't understand how to true the variables. I would recommend actually not even just trying to self-promote, but like you'll save like a lot of money if you go to someone's good training classes. There's a lot of training classes you can go that do long-range precision training. We do one at Rex Defense, which is a very comprehensive classroom portion, which will get you completely squared away on all your options. We explain the science of internal ballistics, how the actual rifle reverberates, acts, the different features, and why they work, why some of them are more challenges. We show you how to run whatever equipment you do have. We show you how to properly use mounts, the issues you will have with mounts, the things that happen, why there's a first shot zero shift, why zero shift in different lighting conditions, how to balance. We talk about everything at the seminar. So if you're new to the terminology, when you're talking about long range shooting, that's a great place to start. It's geared for, like, we get a lot of tier 1 guys from all over the world that come to our seminars because we have some pretty good information, but also I have the ability to talk like a normal cowboy type guy, right?
Yeah.
And I'm the fun guy that has the cool sunglasses too, see? Pretty cool, right, Phil?
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, can't argue with that deal. So if you want to come have fun, we have a lot of fun at this seminar. We talk about all that stuff. You can watch the Sniper 101 series on YouTube. There's like infinity hours of information there. Huge amount of information. You study that stuff. It's free. I did that as a public service, and that'll get you started. When you get that, that gives you each little tiny piece of assembly on the car. When you get to the seminar, we show you how to put it all together and make the machine work. When you get to a live fire, we drive the car around and we ramp over stuff and hit the curb and do parallel parking at 70 miles an hour. Does that make sense? All right, guys. Okay. So we're looking at the overall profile of both of these optics. They're almost, they're pretty darn close to the same length.
Yep.
The Spider's a little longer. And this guy, this is, which one is this? The 3 to 18? Is there like some special name on it?
No, that one is just a legend, 3.5.
I actually like this big ugly thing. Why is it a huge block like this, Val?
That's
Because they had to make the heavy duty stuff fit in there.
the original design. Yep.
Yeah. Now what did they update this other design? Just making it more compact, or what they do?
Well, first of all, they moved parallax adjustment to the front.
Oh, I suppose, sure, yeah.
This one had a little bit to do with the air gun competition.
Who's there? Which one was the air gun competition?
Well, there's a lot of that going on. And
Which
these
one of the
guys-
scopes?
This one, the
Really?
Spider. They want high power, in
This
a
is
scope.
air gun rated?
It is, because it also focuses down to 21 feet. And
Do you know what this means? Remember Back to the Future? I just watched it. Okay, so like scopes that can survive on air guns are very, very rugged. I didn't know these were air gun rated. I didn't know that. I actually did not know that. I learned something today.
But anyway,
So what I want you guys to do real quick before we talk anymore is we're going to start to do a vote. And Seth's just going to kind of keep track as best he can which one of these
All right, so
would be
the
most.
vote is between.
The
Point out again which one is.
3.5 to 18 by 50.
This is a 3.5 to 18 by 50 scope, the side parallax. This is going on the 308, guys, the Steyr SSG-08 sniper rifle. I plan on beating the crap out of this rifle. Or we can go with the Spider, which is a 9 to 36 by 44. So a slightly bigger objective here, more of a medium power range. This has a higher power range with a smaller objective. So you guys start voting on that, thinking which one would be better. I'll probably make my decision anyways based on whatever I feel like, but you guys are allowed to vote. So I can pretend like you're
mean.
like, hey, I'm honest. I'm gonna grab which one I want on it. What, dude? Okay, what's this?
This is a one-piece mount that
Sometimes it's that stuff. Man. Can you see this deal?
we offer for the medium to large size scopes.
Well, how is this gonna mount anything? How loose it is? This thing sucks. It's not. I mean, like, no. Okay, and this is made. This is the Italian one, right?
Right. Double.
Okay, so you got the lugs.
Yep.
Yep, that's smart.
25 MOA forward incline.
You got 2 screws per deal here.
Yep.
20. What was the incline?
25.
25 minute.
Yes, sir.
Not mils.
No.
You're not going for ultra super turbo long range.
We could. And then the bubble in the back.
Oh, a bubble.
Bubble level. Yep.
Oh, there's the bubble level. Gotta have the bubble level, man. And then what's this deal? Same company? Different?
No, that's ARC, American Rifle Company.
American Rifle Company. So this is Italian.
This is US.
Is this made in the US?
Yes.
And this is thumb screw tightenable,
Yes, sir.
but you still have the big Allen deal in the middle
Correct.
to torque it. Do you know what the proper torque specs are?
Yes, 55 on the
55,
wheels.
55 inch-pounds here. And
And the top, I would go 30 to 35. The manufacturer recommends 50 on top too, but
50?
yeah, that's what we.
Well, it's
thought.
built pretty good then.
We tested it many times on many rifles at 30, 35 is plenty good. And given the format of your Steyr rifle,
Yeah.
this you would need a high mount like this or like that.
I'll have a little more leeway with this scope to mount it. Actually, see this, guys? This one you have more leeway back and front, but then of course you can move the mount a little bit too, right?
Sure.
Gosh darn it, I don't know. What would you do, Seth?
Which one would I choose?
Yeah.
Well, just
Really?
tell us after the vote.
What are they saying?
Right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 5 votes. 5 votes are going 3.5 to 18, and 1 for a Spider. More guys.
Really?
Which one? Spider or 3.5 to 18 by 50? 3.5 to 18 by 50 up front with the 50 mil.
This is the 3.5 to 18 by 50.
Yeah.
This is the Spider, 9 to 36.
So we just had 2 more for the 3 to 18 and 1 for the Spider. There's another 3.5 to 18, another 3.5 to 18, another 3.5 to 18.
Oh, we know the answer.
Oh, Spider. You got another Spider. Spider. 2 more Spiders.
Which
Hey,
one
you
you
voted
want me to have,
twice.
Val? What would be no? All right, Val, you're on live, whatever,
Put
worldwide.
me on the spot. Go ahead. Okay.
What would you put on your SSG-08? Honestly, you're going to run off into World War III with Patrick Swayze.
Now, I like the way Zebulon thinks. He said, screw it, go with both.
Oh,
You can mount them in tandem. There's a rail on top.
That's a good idea.
You can double it up, double power, man.
There you
Ever
go.
do that? Ever try that, Val?
No,
Oh, it's amazing.
I don't.
It's amazing what happens.
And then put a night vision in front
It's
of that.
amazing what happens when you have too much amarettos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about right.
Oh my goodness. Which one would you put on that Steyr? If it were yours. No, I don't want to hear about any kind of weird influences or nothing. Just what would you throw in there? Yeah, 5 seconds to decide. You have to grab a scope and run out into the woods. Like, remember when they come to the gas station in Red Dawn? And they're like, you boys get sleeping bags and food. And they're like grabbing stuff off the shelves. And you have these, I mean, I grab both, but you can only grab one. Which one do you grab?
Probably the 3.5 to 18.
Would you really? And tell me why.
The magnification range is more appropriate for a 308.
Can they hear him on there, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 9 might be a little more of a target, extreme long range. 9 at the bottom I'm talking about.
This might go on a 338 quite well.
Oh yeah, that would, yes. As a more
Or like
affordable
the ultimate
choice.
varmint hunting scope. So if this
Absolutely.
was like a 6.5,
6.5 Creedmoor?
Yeah.
A lot of guys that have
this would be
6.5s.
awesome for
Yes.
like, I don't know if you guys varmint hunt. I used to do that for years, man.
Yeah.
You could zoom, like if you go like this, I don't care how far they are, you can put that little dot right between their little eyeballs
Yeah, that's is definitely.
when they're peeking out of their
Really
little
good
holes. I don't know if you guys ever had the opportunity to do that, to be an evil killer of innocent animals. Well, they weren't innocent when they destroyed the whole landscape out there, so they deserved it, right? Right, Seth?
Right.
Gosh darn it, man.
Anyway, yeah, that's.
Ah,
that
but
would
I
be-
like this front focus business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, geez, I don't know what I want to do. What to do? What to do? I can get either one. All right, I'm going with this mount right here, the American,
Yep.
because I'm American.
Yep.
Although the Italians make incredible stuff,
It's very nicely made.
Hold
The
that one
finish
again.
is good.
but
Hold that up again.
I'm utilitarian. I use whatever actually works best.
This one
As long as it ain't made by some evil country, I'll buy it.
and
Romania and Italy are both our friends.
very good. Yeah, yeah, they are.
Yep. Yep, we're all good friends, so.
This one is
Okay.
probably more popular on a big caliber.
On the big stuff, yeah, and you got three screws on each side. That's a cool feature, actually. And you can like mount stuff on the sides here,
Yeah, we have like mini Picatinny
like little
rails.
baby
that-
Picatinny, so you
yes,
can go your
those.
sideways like zero with your Chujicons and your whatever, or your EOTechs,
Little red dots,
laser
little
beam.
lasers,
Yeah.
green, red, whatever.
So there's a couple people asking
Yes,
what
sir.
kind of glass are in both of these.
These
As
are
in,
both
is one
shot glass.
Are they both HD or?
This is HD double compressed. This is
You have to
ED.
speak up, Val.
This is HD double compressed. This is ED, low dispersion.
What's the difference between that?
Well, the ED glass, it's favors probably a slightly better color rendition,
Okay.
but this is a classic. This is what you find in Schmitz and German-made sizes.
Is this a little bit better glass?
So you've got the
It is.
HD in the 3.5 to 18, and this is the ED in the Spider.
Yes, given the fact that it's a lot more magnification.
But they're both apochromatically corrected.
Correct.
3 different densities of glass.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're both like high-end, tier 1.
Oh, the
Huh?
highest end
Yeah.
glass. I don't think you
And
can get
it's,
any better glass.
and shot. Okay? That's like, the stuff, when I just reviewed the Zeiss Conquest V6, the whole scope was using shot as well. So this is using shot as well, just
The
like
Conquest
the Zeiss.
V6?
The Conquest V6.
Is it
It's
made
all
in
made in
Germany?
Wetzlar.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty nice, huh?
No, I didn't see it yet.
You didn't know that?
Nope.
They're not near as heavy duty as this, though. I like Val, it's kind of heavy, like, can't you make your scopes a little bit lighter, Val? I mean, like, then I have to carry this 80-pound pack with all my junk in it and this like huge giant rifle, but the scope weighs like a pound more. I mean, that's gonna ruin my whole experience.
No, it won't.
I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, given the type of glass you're using, it's not.
So
not
one
bad.
you're telling me is better than the other. All right, well, let me look over there. I'm gonna look at these dudes way the heck over there.
I don't know if you're gonna.
Gosh darn it, that is good.
Yeah.
That's really good. I'm gonna crank her up all the way. Man, oh man. Hold on, let me adjust this a little bit. Oh man. They're both, it's like almost hard to discern, guys, in all honesty. It's undiscernible. Which one? Man, this is good too, though, man. Crank this one up a little bit. I think I actually do want to use this one here.
Just, this is on.
I made my choice.
You made the choice?
I'm going with what the what the viewers said. We're gonna do the 3.5 to 18 by 50 classic footprint. This footprint, this shape is very popular for a reason. Watch all my videos, come to the seminar, I'll tell you why. But this has been executed very well. It's a classic. It's been battle proven. It's a great scope. I know they've been around for, it's an older scope. It's been around for a while longer.
Yeah.
This is a little bit newer, right, Val?
It is much newer. That one is
This one has slightly more advanced glass, but I just, this is what I'm going to put on that 3-weight, man.
Well,
that's all there is to it.
The thing with the glass is when you go to the 36 power,
Yep.
it's twice as much as that. So when you get up there, you kind of
Then you
need
kinda
that
need
glass,
that.
you know, but
Yeah.
at 18 power, you'd be hard pressed to notice. You put both of them on 18. This one is probably gonna, if you're into bird watching, you're gonna see a little
Bird watching.
you know what I mean? That's the crowd that can see this infinite small differences.
Go down
in
to
color
Central
and
Park with your SSG-08.
Exactly.
Get lined up on a bird.
But that's my point. You're a shooter. You're not in bird watching, right? But if you for any reason you're into spotting, shooting extreme long range, and you're looking for every little small edge
Okay.
for a mile, 2,000 yards, obviously you would want the 36.
All right, so let's do 3 minutes of questions and answers. What do we got, Seth?
Just had a question on MSRP on these two models.
What's this cost?
I believe that is 24.
$2,400. And I'm
It
telling.
includes sod shade and a set of premium rings. This one-piece mount would be $150 upgrade.
You guys want to hear a secret that you can't tell anybody? $2,400?
Yeah.
This is gonna blow the pants off the stuff you can buy at the gun store that the gun store guy says is the best one you can buy for that price range. This is gonna be like twice or 3 times better. Trust me. This is the real deal. It says that European is a whole different category than over the counter. These things aren't generally over the counter at your gun stores or your
Very good.
not generally. This is good stuff. What's this one?
I think that one is about the same. Maybe 23, 23
Okay.
maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Somewhere right in there.
About 100 less.
Okay.
They're pretty close. And again, it includes the sunshade caps and a set of rings.
So Jamie asks, is the Spider available in MOA?
Not in a first focal plane format. We have a second focal plane MOA format that is not in stock.
Okay.
We had a lot of interest in the first focal plane Mil. Although the second focal MOA is, I believe, is in production and we should have it soon. But we had much more demand for the Mil first focal plane.
Okay. Anything else, guys?
What type of reticle are in these?
It's the MP8 dot X1 with a center dot illuminated. in
And if
red.
you want to check out the Valdada website, they'll have pictures of the reticles in there. Or if you can watch the reviews I got on my channel, it's the same reticle basically as in the Recon.
Very similar, yeah.
Yeah, very similar to the Recon. You got your mills coming all the way down. How many mills do I got going down on this thing?
Well, let's check this.
15. Yeah, I know you already know the answer. I'm pretending like I'm trying to be cool. Yeah, you got 15 down, and this one has 10 up, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you got 15 mils down from center of the crosshair, and then 10 up. So you can theoretically zero at the top of the deal too, if you wanted to employ it like that. And then of course you have the branches coming off to the side. You could call it a Christmas tree style reticle if you wanted to call it that. The bottom one goes out 10.
Yeah, I don't know. Christmas tree implies a lot of stuff in there, but
Yeah.
this is not.
Yeah, I don't see any ornaments or anything kind of.
Trevor asks, what is the differentiation with the even higher end scopes like the Patriot?
The Patriot has the same exact glass as the Spider. But the Patriot, it's got a 56 in the front though, and it's got a 40 millimeter tube, and it's about 1.5 inches longer. And due to the 40 millimeter tube, has about 8, maybe 7, 8 mils more vertical adjustment.
I really like does that have the 24 degree eyepiece?
The Patriot, I believe, has 23. And
That's one of the reasons when you lay behind there, some guys talk about the eye box, like how it feels to lay behind there, how critical it is that, it's just like how big the image appears.
Yeah, the
And when
field
you're
of view.
looking at a 40 millimeter main tube scope with the 24 degree eyepiece,
like the Recon.
it's like you're stepping into the target area. You like just walk into the room, or out, you know what I mean? You're not like looking through a tube, you're there. It's actually hard to explain. If you haven't laid down behind one, you gotta do it. There's usually, if you come to our classes, the live fire classes, dudes got them on the line. And they're usually pretty cool about letting you shoot. And we actually make everyone shoot everyone else's rifles at the classes too.
So just so you guys know, the regular, let's call it a standard mainstream size of the field of view at the eye box, at the ocular, it's about 17 to 19.5, 20 degrees at the eyepiece. These would be in the category of a wide angle, especially at 23 in the Patriot and 24 degrees in the Recon. That is quite impressive, especially when you back it up with over 100 minutes of adjustment, meaning over 35 mils of adjustment.
That's why
That
they
is-
seem so nice when you get behind them.
These are, as far as field of view, these are, I believe, 21.5 degrees at the ocular.
So like I've been running
21.5, I'm sorry.
I've been running PM2s for a long time. It's interesting when you sent me the first Recon and I lay behind it, because like you know how it is when you step up from the 3/4 inch scope and you get that like first 3 to 9 by 32 deer hunting scope on your 22 and you're like, oh man, this is incredible. I can like see everything. And then you get into your first 30 millimeter scope, like a serious like long range, $300 scope where you got target turrets on there and all that business. And you're like, damn, check this deal out, right? And then you work your way up to, I remember I got my first Schmidt in Bender, and same deal, it's another big step up. But a lot of that's not just the size of the tube, it's with the angle on the ocular lens.
The optical calculation.
The optical calculations, and it's important that that's done correctly to be executed right. I mean, you can have all these degrees, but they can come out of focus if it's not done properly. So you got to have good glass and a good engineer putting them together. And I know that the engineer that has worked on these has done one heck of a job.
Thank you.
Yeah, and as far as I can tell, just let them know. And but when I step on that first Recon, it's like a whole different ballgame from a PM2. And I like the Recon better than the PM2 in all categories, but it's like, man, it's on that. It's hard. Like, how do you say which is your favorite kid?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard. Like, which one would you grab if the house was burning down?
Yeah.
I'd probably grab both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Like the scope in the kid or both scopes?
I'd go for Donald the Turtle. Actually, I turned Donald the Turtle loose, guys.
Yeah, I
Do you remember
know.
Donald the turtle?
He almost died going up and down trying to
Yeah,
get.
I was talking to Val
Talking
all
down the
day
hill.
on the cell phone trying to find the perfect spot to release the turtle. The turtle don't care. I could just like thrown him out of the window of the pickup and he'd have been fine. But I love my turtle, man. And so I was like hiking all over the lake, like climbing down cliffs. I'm like, I don't think this is the right spot to release them. And I'm like trying to find where the other turtles are. And Val's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I think I'm going to have a heat
You all right,
stroke.
man?
I'm like, oh God. And finally, all of a sudden, I get real quiet, and Val's telling me about some kind of top secret stuff or whatever. And
right. Yeah.
I'm bending over with and it's my little turtle. It's just a little painted turtle, you know. Me and Donald have been friends all throughout that whole campaign with Hillary Clinton. Donald helped get me through that deal. It was rough, dude. And Donald and me have listened to a lot of rock and roll in the basement together. And we had this thing, but you know, they're hardwired. They got this instinctive kind of deal going on. It's not like they learn how to be a turtle. It's like in their brain. It's like hardwired in. So I'm like, I'll release Donald. You know, it'll have a lot more fun outside in the giant lake. And so Val was actually present with me in spirit on the phone when I released Donald the turtle into the wilderness. Now,
Quite an
I know
experience.
it was a soft release. I'm smart. I'm a biologist. Partly, I got one of my degrees in biology. So I put Donald in the backyard for a few months in a certain controlled environment so he could get used to the sun coming up again, because he used to be in the rock and roll office downstairs, you know, with the artificial lighting. It's like he's abducted by space aliens, man. That would suck. I thought about it from his perspective, and I'm like, you know what? It's time to let him go. It's time to let him go. Is this a scope video or what?
No, it's
Not anymore.
turtle video. No, it was
A turtle video. I'm changing the title. Oh, I love you guys, man. All right.
3.5 to 18 it is.
3.5 to 18 it is. With the American Rifle Company M10 QDL.
Okay, we got two questions real quick.
Yes, sir.
First off is a couple guys just joined. They said, what scope or new scope for what rifle caliber? What distances are you going to be shooting?
Oh, for the scope I just picked?
Yep.
So this is going on a Steyr SSG-08A1. That's their new top-of-the-line sniper rifle, okay? It's built like a tank, so it's a 7.62 millimeter. I'm going to be running 175 grain bullets, but I got a lot of traum ammo, so I can shoot a mile with that thing. Seth and I proved that at the ELR course last year.
Wow.
Seth actually got 3 out of 5 hits at a mile with the 308. And what are they, 150 some grain bullets?
Yeah, some 150 something.
Yeah. And so we got proprietary projectiles we're always testing. Of course, I'm going to be running from 0 to 1200. I'm comfortable with the 308 out to 11 or 1200 if you got the right twist and the right projectiles. What rifle? Yeah, so what else did he ask about that deal?
That was it.
Yeah.
Rifle caliber and distance, and then KS929 said, is there any room left at the Buffalo Gap live fire?
I think so. Yep. And if you're anywhere in the whole United States, upper northern part, Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, South Dakota, Nebraska, Minnesota, Wisconsin, anywhere within driving range, North Dakota, if you don't know where it's at, it's exactly in the center of the United States on the border with Canada, right in the top and middle, in between Montana and Minnesota. And the Buffalo Gap event is out in the Badlands. If you haven't seen the Badlands, it's beautiful. It's out at a cowboy town. It's actually very reasonable rates for the rooms. It's like pretty reasonable prices. They got a restaurant on site. They got a bar on site. And the Badlands are right there. And we're going to be doing a seminar class the first 2 days, and then a live fire after that. So you can either buy them as a package deal, which is actually a few $100 off, which is like pretty good deal. Or you can take each class separately if you've already done a seminar and you just want to do the live fire, or if you just want to try the seminar and then see if you do want to do the live fire, we'll still kind of give you the semi-discounted rates. It's all on the Rex Defense website. But the Buffalo Gap event is available. I'd recommend, if you want to see that, that's the last one of them we got on the books for a while, besides Las Vegas. Early in December, we're going to Las Vegas, guys. And so, by the way, if you're one of these gift giving type peoples for whatever these things are that people do, these what do they call those things, holidays or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could send someone to the one in Vegas, and plus at Vegas, you can also bring the family. You can bring the wife. They can go out shopping during the daytime with
Plenty
the kids, riding on the roller coaster, riding on the, I don't know what they do in Vegas during the daytime. I don't know what happens over there. Look at the blinking lights that aren't turned on yet. There's a lot of stuff to do in Vegas, guys. And then during the day, we'll be doing the seminar. At night, you guys can run off and go to the shows. So that's a family-friendly version of coming to the seminar. Now, the seminar ain't the entry training deal. It's actually like a very advanced course. If you're really, really, really into long-range shooting, it's perfect for you. If you're not and you're curious what it involves, you'll learn a lot. It'll be a heck of an entryway. We ain't gonna leave you in the dust. We explain everything in colloquial terms as well. But yeah, we got the Vegas event and the one in Buffalo Gap, North Dakota. If you're anywheres in the United States up there, I would fly into probably like Dickinson Airport or Bismarck, and then you'd get a car, and it's not far from there. Even though the distances are far in miles, there's like nobody there. So it's there's like no traffic jams. You just drive 75 miles an hour all the way.
Okay, so we got a question for Val.
Yes, sir.
Are the Valdada scopes caliber specific? Reason I ask, some of these 6 to 24 say 223, some say 338. What's going on?
Oh, the gentleman is referring to the website. When you order, we have some selections that are optional. The format, the standard format of any rifle scope is either MOA or Mil, and we specified in the title of the model. For example, we have a 6 to 24 by 50 SFP, which is a second focal plane, MOA. We also have a 6 to 24 by 56, okay? The 6 to 24 56 is a first focal plane, FFP, and it's a Mil or an MOA. When you get into the options, okay, we have what we call a Bdc Turret Rings, and those are available for 223, 69 grain trajectory, 308, 168 grain, and 338 Lapua, 250 Cinar or 300 Sierras, and 50 cals. So these are options, and you only want to get those if you want them. If you prefer a standard MOA, quarter MOA click, or a 1/10 MRAD click, that's what you get.
Yeah, so the typical application would be it's like a BDC style reticle or a BDC turret.
Turret, yes.
So that if you're in like super kind of big hurry and you don't want to screw around, you can dial it in there. If you have atmospheric variation, different than that, you just get a chart set up to where you just know how many clicks up or down you go from whatever your BDC is set for. It's not a difficult deal, but it's set up for being very, very quick on the battlefield.
Again, this is for the elevation turret. The reticles are as indicated in the model specification.
Yeah.
It's either MOA or Mil. So the reticles in these scopes are not caliber specific.
Sure.
We're talking about strictly the elevation being a BDC.
Yeah, forgive me. Yep. Yeah, so it's a BDC, a ballistic drop compensation turret. It'll get you pretty darn close. If you want to get really, really precise, then you got to make minor adjustments to your BDC, or you got to just dial in a custom firing solution by counting how many clicks you go on your turret. Yeah. What did I miss, man? You get some good comments here, or what?
Oh, the fact the Flat Earth Society has members all around the globe.
Dude, I need to eat something, man. Dude, all I had all day today was a banana, which is probably good.
Yeah,
But it'd be fun. You want to do it?
I'm ready.
Are you game for some? You game for like supper, dude?
Any more
Supper,
questions?
breakfast, and lunch all in one meal?
Oh yeah,
Shall we gorge upon the flesh of the Lord Beast?
we should.
All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll catch you on the flip side. We're going to be at the Combat Command Fire, Road 10, Texas this weekend. Look forward to training with you guys.